Hello everyone, this is Archduke, and I'm here on the Duke SMP server. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to Season 2. I've actually been meaning to put out a few videos before this, but I've had a few things to deal with, and those videos that I did record, I didn't really feel that it had the proper quality, so that's why I'm first putting out this video now. But I figured for today we can take a look at what's happening at spawn. I can tell you a bit about what's happening this season and my own goals for this season, and I guess I can talk about that while I'm over there doing something that I need to do. But let's just have a look at spawn. As you can see, this building I was in was the Jacko post office, and we have our mailboxes here. I assume this is the international recognized banner of Jekyll. And here he got mail, and I'm gonna put up my banner at some point too. I actually have a layout design for that, so it'll come up soon. You can look forward to that. And here is the server map. I see that there's a few areas that needs to be updated, but I can tell you a bit about that. This here is it's the pink dome. Right here is the post office, as you can see, because my marker is here. We have the spawn pad, which kind of survived from season 1, although not exactly the same layout. We have animal pens here, but the animal needs to go. I can also talk a bit about that. Not that visible, but as you can see here, there's a little opening that is the Jackal's secret mountain hideout. We have the rests of Raided's Teletubby base, which is gone now. He's moved on. And up there is it's my swamp hut, and I can already tell you that the map needs to be updated. This is the newbie area, which I think is kind of a nice layout. Last season we also had a little bit of a newbie area, but not really any form of shelter like this is. So that's a very nice touch. Although I'm not really convinced that the grass should be here. And we have enchanting. And we need to replace the anvil. It was Reddit tried to kill Jack with it. So we have the pink dome here, which I actually don't really know what is gonna be used for. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be used for selling something, because it has a checkout sign inside, but I don't know how much of it is a surprise, so I'll not really go inside. But it sounds like it's gonna be a zombie shop. And we have his mountain hideout here with a big glass entrance. I've been in there before, but there's not really that much to show, I think. And he's building something up there, which I'm quite not sure what is, but I'm presuming it's an iron farm, because he's talked a lot about wanting more iron. I just hope it's not gonna be one of those that requires the server to be constantly activated, because I really found it as being a pain in the butt last season. But I guess we'll have to see about that. And this is the reminiscence of the animals at spawn. We actually had quite a few animals here. Same goes for the chickens in here, but we had to clean them up, because they would keep mobs from spawning outside in the newly generated terrain. And I mean, I would like a cat, I would like a dog, and I would like a horse. I actually had a horse in the beginning of the season, but it drowned, as they tend to do. So without new mobs generating outside, we'd never be able to get that. So they've been pretty much killed, and Jekyll, he has a plan of building an animal land in that direction. You might be able to see it on the world map. I'll put a link in the description. So that in that direction will be animal land, where we'll have all the animals, and they'll be. Whoa! That sounded like an angry Enderman. But at which point did I look at an Enderman? Oh, I hope he won't kill me. Animal land, and it's pretty much outside spawn, so there won't be any. Oh, there he is. Being crazy. So there won't be any problems with them taking up the spawn chunks and keeping new animals from being generated. So that's pretty nice. And we have. Oh. We have the rests of Raid's cow. Will you stop it? The rest of Raid's cow farm. But that's for the same reasons of all the other animals. It had to be pulled down. But I'm pretty sure he could just build a new one in the animal land, or he could build one at his base, which is also in that direction, which you can also see in the map. But I better get away from that guy before he decides to kill me. What this is, I'm not so sure, but see, I think it could be a trap, but it's really a poor trap, because you know, okay, the mob or whatever walks in here and oh, it walked out. So I don't know what that's about. There's a few silly builds like that here on the server. In that direction is, well, you can slowly see what we're gonna work on today. But in that direction, further in that direction, is Nate's place. He has a very nice mountain area, and I'll be sure to check it out in one video at some point, so you can see that's really a great area. And the underground is just, it's filled with mine shafts and all kinds of things, so it's just a thing of beauty, really. And further in that direction is Gariver's place, but I don't think there's much built there yet. But you can also check that out. But what we're gonna be working on today is this thing. Let me just get here to the top. It is a giant bed, and it's built by. Oh no! Oh, I thought I didn't jump far enough. I just made it. It's built by Jekyll and Raided. Well, I guess it's primarily built by Raided, because I kept nagging him about putting up a bed, and well, he surely put up a bed. But Jekyll at least helped him. I'm not really sure what role Nate played in it, but I've heard he was building sharpness books for using on the on the shears for the sheep. I'm just kidding, of course, but we have to get something done about it, because I don't know if it happened yet, but usually it forces the server to start raining. Okay, that's really frustrating. I was hoping to take advantage of the fact that it was dark outside, because the mobs are spawning, but usually I'll have a whole bunch of mobs on the top of my roof, and it's really annoying. Plus, it's not really making my area look that great, having a giant bed on top. So it has to go. But of course, also this is this is my swamp hut, or should I say, me and Gariver's swamp hut. We've been taking over each other's bases all the time. But yeah, my swamp hut, and given that there's actually a lot of swamp here on the server, I figured, why not just build here? It's not really that likely that anyone else wants to build here, so. And plus, because of that, the rent is cheap. so don't have to worry about that. But let's just put down a few torches here. Keeps mobs from spawning, because, you know, if I fall through that wall, land here, and there's a creeper or anything else bad, it'll ruin the roof. So safety first, I guess. Alright. Maybe I should also just put a few torches here and there, just to keep everything from spawning. Nothing will really spawn underneath here because it's in the water, so don't have to worry about that. And down here is all my storage, and you'll get to see that in due time. In here is my villager trading area, and I must say, last season I shied away from actually trading with villagers because it just seemed like a whole lot of work. But this season I'm doing it because, even though it might be, you know, a bit of work, it still has its advantages, and you can get really good stuff for really cheap. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing this season. And I don't know if actually, oh, hello. I seem to be having a bit of choppiness now and then, but I don't know if it's really coming through or if it's just a thing of this snapshot. But oh yeah, we should go look at the sign. You have always been on at me over my bed that I never have a bed ready, so I'm here to give you your own rated bed, featuring Jacko. See, he wasn't completely innocent. But it's actually pretty funny because I was playing some San Andreas multiplayer with a friend of mine that I haven't actually had a chance to play with for a long time. But while I was playing, I noticed that Rated HD Gamer, he went online on Twitch. So I went to check that stream out and wrote him on Skype that I'm gonna check out his stream. And he wrote to the other people in the server that oh no, he's watching. And at that point I really knew what was going on. I figured I was about to be pranked. But I was a good sport, so I just, you know, I let them continue. And the thing is, after 3 hours later I returned, and they were still not done. They were actually pretty close to being done. They were at this area, as you can see. This bit here has been a bit hastily blocked off. So they were in that area, and I figured, you know, they've had 3 hours. They should be done by now. So I just, as the good sport I am, I started shooting at them. But I didn't kill either of them. But the thing is, I was rendering a 2-week-old snapshot of or backup of the server yesterday or so, and I noticed that this thing was still on the, you know, on the map at that point. So I figured it's been here for two weeks now, so it's about time that it goes away. And so I figured I might as well also just record an episode and get to talk to you. So that's where we are now, and I'm gonna have to do the long, boring work. I mean, I could burn it down, but I really like to have many resources, so it would really be a shame. And you should see how much I actually like having resources. A few days ago, I started out on my own little project to you know, get a bit of sand for my chests, just so I have it in case I ever need it. And I started out in the desert. I started out digging out an 8x8 area, and I got some sand. about half a chest full after restoring the terrain. I figured, I'd want a bit more, just, a bit more. And I dug a new 8x8 area out. And I figured, yeah, well, that's pretty nice, but I still want, just a bit more. So I'm sure I'll never need anything more. And then I started out taking a 64 by 64 area. And oh my god, that took ages. Literally, it took ages, I think. I mean, I started out during one of Kurt's weekly live streams. I figured, well, I might as well just listen to that while I'm working. And before I knew it, the live stream was done. That was a few hours worth of live streaming. Oh, well, damn. But I was getting some work done, so I figured I'd continue. And then we were suddenly at 4 hours or something like that. Nate comes online, and well, I rescued him from falling in lava a few days before that, so I figured I'd call in a favor and ask him to help me dig out the sand. And I asked Rated, just because he generally wants to help too. And in the end, it took 7 hours. 7 hours from I started digging the area out until I placed the final sand in the effort to restore the terrain. Ah, never again. But I do think actually I'll probably end up doing the same, because we've started to have what is it called? Mesa showing up in that direction, and the mesa has the red sand. So I figured I'd want a chest full of that stuff too. So I'm gonna have to dig that up too. But that's really it. I think that's things that's been going on. Other than that, it's just, for me, it's been resource gathering. I have a plan for a big castle kind of thing, and it's gonna be really huge. So I need to gather a lot of resources. That's why also this swamp hut is not really a thing of beauty, and that's because well, it's not gonna be my permanent base. It's just gonna be a temporary thing until I have enough resources, and until I found an area that I would want to build in. It's actually gonna take out quite some space. Gonna be like 100 by 100, with the main building being, I don't know, 30, 40 or something like that. So it's gonna take out a lot of resources. And this wall, I actually have an idea for a revenge prank, so to say, on Rated. And that's why another good reason for not burning it. I'd like to keep it, and then he can have it all back. I don't want to breed. Oh, there were so many sheeps. I don't want to breed all those, so why not just take advantage of the fact that it's here already. But anyways, in other news, I've bought, as Kurt J. Mac would say, I've bought a space chair. I've bought a steel case leap because I've been spending a lot of time here in front of the computer, and or I don't know if you know, but I'm a bit of a tall person, and people who are tall people, they need to make sure when they spend a lot of time at the computer that they don't strain their backs unnecessarily. And I've noticed that I'm starting to get some back pains. So I figured I might as well get myself a nice chair. I've heard people talk about, you spend 1/3 of your life asleep, so you might as well spend good money on on a good bed. And you know, I'm gonna work a lot at a computer when I'm done with my education, and you know, even in this doing YouTube, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time at a computer, so I might as well just get myself a proper chair. And by God, it's a proper chair. I mean, it's adjustable in any way imaginable. You can adjust, of course, the height, as most office chairs can. You can adjust the armrest's height, the armrest's width, and the armrest's rotation. You can adjust the tilt of the seat, the depth of the seat, how much back support you want, and you can have multiple different angles that the seat can tilt back. It's really awesome. But the thing is, it was really expensive, and I didn't want to pay that much money, so I went out to look for used ones, and I could get a used one that was refurbished or recovered or whatever you want to call it. I could get that at 1/10 of the price I would pay for a brand new one. So of course I went for that deal, and I got it a few days ago, and I've been enjoying it. But there was a thing, as I said, you can adjust the seat depth, and you can adjust the angle of the seat, but neither of those functions were really working on this one I had. So I talked to the guys who I bought it from, and I bought it over in England, and I was worried because if I had to transport the thing back, it's gonna be such a mess. And I mean it's huge, it's weighing a ton. So yeah, so I had my worries about how to transport it back if that was gonna be needed, but the guy I talked to, he was really helpful, and first of all, he tried to explain to me how to use it in case it was just me who failed to figure out how to actually properly use it. But I couldn't get it working, and then the next step of offer was that he told me how to repair it in case it just it's slid out of the rail that it slides on. But I couldn't get it working. I even looked at YouTube videos on how to get it working, and at that point I was actually really worried that I'd have to send it back, because the features of it was really broken. Not all of it, as I said, it was a good chair, but if you pay good money for a chair, you'd want it to work. And so I contacted him again, and he said, well, you know what, there's no real need to worry about it. It's really, I mean, we test the things before we send them out, and this is something we haven't experienced before. But you know what, you can just this chair you have, just either throw it away or whatever you want. Use it as a cat seat, and we'll just send you a new one. Don't worry about it. And I mean, for me, that's really great customer service. They just it's, we don't know what happened from the point of which it left our place to the point it arrived at your place, but we'll just send you a new one. Don't fret about having to send it back. So yeah, that's that's really awesome. I'd really want more customer support like that. But of course, the thing is, if you open up for sending a new used item each time someone complains, then there'll be people who takes advantage of it, and such offers would quickly disappear again. But if you ever want a space chair of your own, just send me a message. I'll tell you about these people. They're amazing. So yeah, I think that's really it I have to talk about for now. And I think I'm also running at quite a lot of time now, so I'll do a speed lapse or something like that, and I'll meet you back when it's been removed. Okay? Okay, see you then. Alright, so I have to stop the speed up just for a little bit, because as you can see, it's dark outside and I go to bed, I try to sleep, and as you can see, Jekyll left the game, but oh no, I can't sleep. And that's a thing of this version 1.8. As you can see, Jekyll joined the game, Jekyll joined the game, Jekyll left the game, so he joined the game another time before he left. And he's not on the player list, but he is actually on the server. If I would message him or something else similar like that, he would get the message. So that's a bit of a peculiar thing. But let's just carry on. We're almost done. Alright, we're at the last bit now. I figured I'd bring you in here for the end, because I actually remembered at the beginning I said I would talk a bit about the season and a bit about my plans for the season, and I totally forgot about that. So it's like that each time. It's been a long time between the recordings, then I get rambly or I get forgetful, but we can talk about it a bit now. And I also figured I'd actually bring you in now, because I can tell on my recording software I'm running a bit low on disk space, and I figured if I have to pull this bit down first and then talk, I might just not be able to finish it. But anyways, just pretty quickly, my plans for the season is, first and foremost, it's my giant build. I'm gonna be a bit more focused on building and aesthetics this season, and I'm gonna actually also look a bit more into automation. Well, I guess it's kind of important given that I have villages and I want to trade with them. I'd need some form of automation anyways, but you know, getting chickens, getting chicken eggs, potato farms, all that stuff, and most importantly, of course, a pumpkin farm, given that they are really great for trading. So yeah, automation, building, well, and as a side project of automation, I'd look into learning more about redstone. I've really let that slip past me for so long, and you can do really amazing stuff, and even more you can do amazing stuff with the command blocks, which I've also looked into. It's pretty nifty. And this season, which is season 2, it's in case you didn't hear about it, it's a world border season. We have a growing world border. It started out in 250, and it was growing. I'm saying was because we actually passed that point, but it was growing for the first month at 10 blocks in each direction, so 20 blocks total per day. Let's see, and that would be 550 or around 550 blocks. It would end up in total. And there went Ghost Jackal. So 550 blocks is it now? We then switch out to the next point of growth, which is 15 blocks in each direction per day, and that's 30 blocks total, and that'll go for 2 months. And we'll end up at something like 1500 or something blocks in each direction, which should be enough space for any of us, really. And hopefully, when more people join, it should leave room for them too. I've also made sure that this. I mean, I generated a lot of seeds to get a perfect seed, and I've made sure that all the seeds in this season, or not all the seeds, this seed has all the biomes with unique items within the first 3 months, so that it won't end up in a situation where people want some packed ice, but it won't really be available until the second last day of the season, something like that. So we have all the biomes coming up within the next 2 months at this point, for sure. But we don't really know where they'll be. They'll just be somewhere. Just like we just noticed now that the mesa is showing up, and we can actually go get hardened clay. That's pretty nice. Yeah, and then the final last 9 months will be at 5 blocks in each direction each day, so 10 blocks per day in total, and we should end up at something like 2400 blocks in total, I think. Don't actually quote me on that. But that should be enough. And I mean, I looked at the last map last season, and although some people went really far out, most of the land generated was within the 2000 by 2000 blocks, so it's more of a mental barrier than it's really an actual problem. And it's quite exciting, because when you don't have the world border, you never really know if this area that you just went to, if it's new or someone has already been there. But each time a bit of new land becomes available here, oh yeah, no one has actually explored it. It's brand new. It's exciting, and I really think that's part of the charm of doing world border. And of course we have, as you can tell on my hearts, we have natural health regeneration turned off. it was really a great success last season, and I enjoy it. It brings a bit of a challenge, but not too much. So yeah. And this season I'm not gonna focus on not dying like last season. I have actually already died 3 times. Once in the Nether. I can't remember the second time. But the third time was me trying to actually kill a creeper. And I ran pretty close to him, but my second sword hit missed. And he blew up, and I flew up into the air with half a heart left. And I was so happy because, you know, I'm gonna survive this, I'm gonna survive this. And then I hit the ground, and I died. Oh, like, there's just no way I could be angry about that happening. It was just too funny. And I was in the call with Rated, and he laughed so much too. But yeah, this is I can take that down afterwards. This is my swamp hut. You'll get to see more about it in the many coming episodes. And down here is my storage location. As you can see, I've already collected quite a bit of junk. My chicken automation. And I know you can do more efficient designs than this. You can have the chicken on top of a hopper, basically. But I find it's a bit charming, you know, when the chicken is running around free roaming as it wants. And I have a cactus farm. More cactus than I ever need. And I have beds. Many beds. They've placed many beds. This is my first layout for the pumpkin farm. It's quite alright. I'm gonna just build effectively I'm gonna build a larger version of this. That should really do me for pumpkins. Sugar canes, which I actually had a problem for the longest time, that these pistons would just end up stuck extended, but I fixed it. And then I have, you know, what is it called? Nether wart, more chests, more beds, potatoes, of course, for a healthy diet. And here is my large storage. Oh, I wanted to rotate this. This is where all the stuff that doesn't fit over there comes to rest for a long time. And as you can see, I've collected a lot of junk already. Most of the chests are at least half full. Most of them are actually full. As you can see, I have quite a bit of sand after my desert adventures. So sand and glass is no problem ever again. But anyways, this is gonna be it for this episode. I'd not be able to fit in anymore, even if I wanted to. I'm dangerously low on disk space, I can see. So let's just end it here. I hope you've enjoyed this, and you know, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.